It's Tuesday, November 30th. It's the last day of November. So tomorrow we start December. So that's wonderful. Close to the end of the year and getting closer to the holidays, the Christmas holidays and Hanukkah and all the other ones. Okay. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Dr. Tony Rail Sutherland, and Raquel Sims is with us as my co-host. Hi, Raquel. Glad to have you with us.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited as well for the holiday season.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Todd DePlandis is still away for a while. He'll be back now. But Raquel, in your excitement, can you please tell everyone where they can find us to watch the show?
Yes, you can find us on all of our social media platforms at the Houston Community College District page. And we are back on the air, y'all. And we are airing at 12 p.m. and at 5 p.m. So make sure you check your local listings and you will see this Up to the Minute podcast. And don't forget to share while you're at it.
Excellent. Now, today we are going to spotlight HCC's Music Entertainment Student Association, better known as MESA. Oh, I'll get it eventually, which has some exciting things going on. And we have Daniel Tohill, who is the president of the HCC Music Entertainment Student Association. Hi, Daniel. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing today?
Doing good. And how do you pronounce it? MESA?
MESA.
MESA. Okay, very good. We're going to come back to you in a little bit, but first we are going to talk to Lora Jorgenson. She is here today because this is Tasty Tuesday. Now, Tasty Tuesday, normally we have these things that, you want to eat them because they're so good, but they can be fattening and stuff like that. Maybe not quite so healthy, but she's going to show us something different, something very healthy that we can eat and have fun with during the holiday season. So Lora Jorgenson, she's a nutritionist. She's the extension agent for the Better Living for Texas program of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. Welcome to the show, Lora.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Well, like I was saying, this time of year is very hard to keep a diet. It's very hard to keep your weight down and all of that. But Better Living has some good ideas on what we can do to make it easier for us. So, but before we go into what you're going to show us, what we can eat and stuff like that, tell us what exactly is Better Living for Texans?
Sure. Better Living for Texans is a wonderful program. It's actually present and available in every county in Texas through AgriLife Extension. And Better Living for Texans is funded by the USDA's SNAP Education and Food and Nutrition Services. And then it's brought into Texas through the State Health and Human Services Commission. And each individual county hosts Better Living for Texans through its County AgriLife Extension office. So I'm located in Harris County, and I have a coworker, Christina Brown, and she and I deliver the Better Living for Texans curriculum. And what we do is we go throughout the county, in person or virtually, whatever the community site, desires us to do. And we deliver nutrition programming and physical activity programs. And we even teach gardening, because gardening is such a component of health and wellness. We know that people who garden tend to eat more fruits and vegetables, and they're also more physically active. So it has a lot of those health and wellness components in it.
Yeah, you want to eat the fruits of your labor, as they say.
Absolutely.
Now, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. So Texas A&M is kind of the basis behind this, I assume. Who is the target audience?
Sure. Our target audience for Better Living for Texans is the SNAP eligible community. And those are folks who are eligible to receive the SNAP food benefits. Now, our target audience doesn't always consist of 100% of the SNAP eligible community, but we strive to get at least 50% of our audience at every program in that SNAP eligible demographic.
Okay. And of course, we can all learn from this. And you said that there are 5 focus areas of education. What exactly is that?
Sure. Great question. Better Living for Texans really narrows in and focuses on those 5 aspects that we find really lead to good behavior change as far as health and wellness go. And those things are increasing fruit and vegetable consumption. We know that throughout America, most folks do not eat the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables. Actually, only about 10% of Americans get those recommended amounts every day. The second pillar that we focus on is increasing physical activity. It's part of a balanced lifestyle to eat right and then also have physical activity in your life. So we focus on changing the habits to include a little bit of physical activity on most days of the week. We also like to focus on increasing access to fruits and vegetables. And for our program, that means focusing on that gardening aspect because, like I said before, folks that garden tend to consume more fruits and vegetables. We also have a pillar that includes food safety. Food safety is a large aspect of what we teach because, as we know, we need to decrease our chances of getting foodborne illness and, just being safer while you're cooking, while you're in your own home, in your kitchen, and also while you're shopping can lead to, decreasing that risk. So we teach a lot of those types of aspects. Also, the last one is called food resource management. And basically what we call that is smart shopping. We teach folks how to use tips and strategies to buy more of those healthy foods when you're on a budget.
Excellent. Now, I know you're going to prepare something for us, and I have some other questions to ask you, but what are you going to show us how to make?
Sure. What I'm highlighting today is a recipe that we've recently made in a program, and it was actually a virtual program. So we did it, on camera, and we demonstrated a brown rice pilaf that was made with sage, walnuts, and dried fruit. And I just thought it was a really great example of a healthier holiday side dish that you could substitute for something that isn't as healthy. And so the healthy aspects of this dish would include the fact that it's made with brown rice instead of white rice. Brown rice having a little more fiber, it's more filling, it has a little more nutrition to it. It also includes the walnuts, which we know nuts are sources of healthy fats, and walnuts in particular are a source of what we call omega-3 fatty acids, which are really important for our health, especially our brain health, and even helps with cognition and memory and things like that. So really important to get those healthy fats in your diet. And then the dried fruit makes this dish really kind of a holiday dish. It adds a touch of sweetness without adding extra sugars to it. It's adding that natural sugar from the fruit. It adds some color, and it came together as a really nice, colorful holiday dish.
That sounds great. It's healthy, it's good for you, and it tastes good, and it's holiday. Well, now, I know you have a lot of programs. Some are for adults and some are for youth. You want to tell us something about those?
Sure, absolutely. Better Living for Texans can program to any age group at all. We program from preschool youth right up through senior citizens. So we do have really specified curricula for each age group. We tend to program more on adult groups. That's just how it's worked out over the past couple of years in Harris County, but other counties have different experiences. But I really tend to focus on senior citizen groups, and we do a lot of programming in the senior citizen centers and other places where seniors gather. And a couple of our curricula that we deliver there, one of them is called Get the Facts, and it goes into explaining about the nutrition facts label and there's a lot of information on that label, and we really try to help folks interpret it, how to use it, how to make better food choices using that information. Another one we have is called A Fresh Start to a Healthier You. That is kind of our intro to nutrition type of program. We cover food safety. We cover the My Plate way of eating, which is the USDA's recommendations for a healthy, balanced plate at every meal. And we cover some smart shopping. And then we even go into talking about how to make your snacking and your family gatherings a little more on the healthy side.
Excellent. Now, you have some program partners. You want to tell us a little bit about them?
Sure, we do. We have a lot of program partners. We go throughout the county and we deliver our programs in sites that invite us. So we're typically in clinics or senior centers or community centers or schools, or a lot of times in residential living facilities that have a gathering room. So some of our program partners that we have recently worked with are UT Physicians clinics in a couple of locations this year. And some of these has been virtual and some have been in person. We've done some programming with HCC, again, some virtual, some in person this year. Harris County Precinct 2 and 3 have a lot of senior and community sites that we've been at and done a lot of great programming with. Humble ISD and Houston ISD, both, we've been in different school locations. We have a great partnership with United Healthcare, the health insurance organization, and through partnering with them, we've been able to reach into a lot of different areas where they have partnerships. So they've brought us in, and together we deliver programming. We've also done programming for Hope Farms and Recipe for Success. And we're also one of the largest youth organizations that we program with right now is the Boys and Girls Club of America.
Excellent. Well, I tell you what, something I'm looking forward to is trying out this recipe. Can we get this recipe, this brown rice sage walnut pilaf? It sounds really good. Well, I tell you what, we're going to have information about that and about your program at the end of the show. So we thank you so much, Lora Jorgenson. She is the extension agent for the Better Living for Texans program of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension service. Thank you so much for being on the show. And we're going to have some information about all of that after the show, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Well, now let's move on to some music. Daniel Tohill, president of HCC's Music Entertainment Student Association, which stands for MESA. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hello. So MESA, we are the Music Entertainment Student Association. Our goal is to kind of get students in touch with the industry and try to get students involved with the music industry. And it's not just for music students. It's actually for everybody. Anybody who's interested with music. We love to have y'all.
Excellent. So you don't have to be a musician. You just got to love music, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, now you have an event coming up Friday, I think. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So this semester we are producer showcase. So what that is for students who enjoy making beats. We're having our beat battle. It's actually called the Be Someone Beat Battle. We kind of wanted to have Houston roots with it, so we decided to name it the Be Someone Beat Battle. This is actually our second annual beat battle. Unfortunately, with the pandemic and everything, we've had to do this virtually, so that has been interesting to figure out how to do that. But yeah, we're very excited to be having it this Friday, and we have 8 contestants that are going to bring really good talent to it.
So now, how does that work? You give them a beat, and then the contestant mixes it around and does different things with it. How does that work?
So what it actually is we gave them a sample, so a short, I believe it was about 3 or 4 second sample, and their whole job is to make a beat based off of that one sample. Okay. So that's part 1 of the competition. Part 2, we allowed them to have a little bit more creativity. allow them to kind of show us what they have. And so we let them kind of create their own beat just to kind of showcase their own talents.
Ooh, that sounds very interesting. Well, what are some other things that you do? I think you also have open mic nights.
Yeah, so we've been doing mic nights. Last week was actually our last open mic of the semester, but every semester we do at least 3 open mics, and it's just kind of a laid back way to allow people to show off their talents, give them a platform to play their own music, or if they want to play covers, anything like that, just kind of a platform just to allow people to perform.
Okay. And you've hosted an artist showcase last semester. How did that go?
It went really great. Once again, with the whole pandemic, it was a kind of struggle to figure out how we were going to go about it virtually, but we figured it out. What we were doing was we rented out a dance studio and kind of kept everybody kind of 6 feet away and everything. But we filmed each artist's separate performance with backing tracks. And we were able to still allow for a stage for artists to perform. And we had that all, and we streamed it on YouTube and everything like that. And it was lots of fun. But yeah, every single spring semester, we like to do our artist showcase. And then on the fall, we like to do our producer showcase. So we kind of allow for both sides of music to kind of, have a platform.
Now, the producer showcase, that Be Someone beat battle, is that right? Or is that? Okay, all right. So, but you have a different theme each year, is that correct?
With the producer showcase, the past 2 years, it's been just the Be Someone beat battle. As for theme, I think it's been pretty much the same for the producer. It's really more of just it's a beat battle. It's just allowing producers the platform, like I said, to kind of show off their talents and everything. The artist showcase, however, does have a different theme every year.
Okay. Now, is this going to be a live performance? I know we're streaming it. Tell us a little bit about that.
So what it is we actually, because it's a producer showcase and they have to have times to work on their beats and everything, we actually had them make the beats ahead of time. And so what we did is we ended up putting the beats behind on a visualizer so we could have something to look at while we're streaming it and everything. And it's more of a judges show. So we're going to have a board of judges that's going to sit there, listen to the beats, give their critiques on it, why they liked it, why they didn't like it, and kind of just, give that producer some feedback on their own beats and everything. And then that way determine who's our first, second place, and third place winner.
Very good. You think sometime you might have an audience vote for something like that eventually?
Yeah, I would actually like to implicate that once we get back into person and everything like that. It's just kind of hard trying to figure things out over online. So yeah, especially with the latency and everything. So we've thought about it, but it's just kind of one of those things that hasn't been put into
well, this is only your second annual, so each year you improve on it and that kind of thing. Now, what kind of experience when someone joins MESA? What kind of experience can they gain from that? What can they learn? What can they get from it?
So what we try to do is give a full experience of putting on a show. And that has to do with the marketing for the show, the budgeting for the show, and just the overall producing for the show. In producing, we have to put the show together, make it look great. We have to keep our audience captivated. For the budget, we have to get prizes. We have to get stage design, everything like that goes into budgeting. And then, of course, marketing, we have to have an audience. So that's the thing that we try to work on the most.
So do y'all meet on a regular basis as a group, and then you work on these different projects? How does that work?
Yeah, so we meet every single Monday at 12 p.m. Sorry, noon. Yeah, so we meet at that time on Zoom, and we just kind of talk about what needs to get done. If the due date for budgeting comes, okay, well, we need to get that done. We need to figure out what our prizes are going to be, send that into CAB, send it into the school so that we can get the funds for it. And so that's kind of how we go about things.
Excellent. So anybody who's interested in music and want to kind of go behind the scenes and some of the things that are done, this might be a good place for them to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're going to have information about how you can join MESA after the show, but we really appreciate you being on, Daniel. Daniel Tohill is the president of HCC's Music Entertainment Student Association, better known as MESA. So thank you so much for being on with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Well, we're going to go back to Raquel. Now, Raquel comes on a regular basis, and she tells us a lot about Stafford news. We have a Stafford station, METV there, and she is going to get us up to date, up to the minute on what's happening in Stafford.
Yes, I love that. But before I really move on to Stafford, I just want to commend both of the guests that were on the show today because I have a connection with the Texas AgriLife. I've always been to their veggie conferences, and they have a time where they prep the meal and they serve it. And their food is so good. I had this spaghetti squash one time and I was like, oh my gosh, I will never go back to regular spaghetti again. So shout out to them. And shout out to you, Mr. Daniel, for doing the wonderful things that you're doing for the students, especially providing a platform for music lovers. I love music myself. And so to be able to provide this for the students is amazing. So kudos to you all. Yes. So moving on to our news, HCC recently had their Thanksgiving luncheon at the Stafford campus, they had some great food too, as well. Dr. Madeline Barillo came out, Dean Garza, and it was hosted by the Student Life by Stafford, Ms. Afra Hassan, Mr. Gina Wilson. They did a great job, brought all of the students out, and Swoop finally came out. That was my first time seeing Swoop in a long time, actually being on campus. So that was exciting to see. And also Stafford recently had their ribbon cutting for the Family Community Outreach Center that just opened up in Stafford. So that's amazing. A lot of construction has been going on that side. So every time I drive over there, I'm just like blown away to see the development over there. And also, I'm so sorry, I'm up here running out of breath. And also, I know transparency and financial reporting may not seem as enthusiastic or just interesting, but SMSD recently won an award for financial reporting. So congratulations to Stafford MSD. And that's pretty much what's been going on in our area. If you aren't doing so already, please follow us on all of our social media platforms at HCC Stafford TV Studio. That's on Facebook and YouTube, and on Twitter at HCCSWTV Stafford. Thank you for letting me share my report, Tony.
Oh, thank you, Raquel. It's always exciting to hear all the different things that go on in Stafford. I live close by. I live in Missouri City. It's like just a jump across the street type of thing. Okay, well, I tell you what, we got some other things that Raquel and I are going to tell you about. We have the virtual student art exhibition. It's going to open this Wednesday, December 1st. Now, as we've said before, the 6 HCC campus art galleries are still closed because of the pandemic thing, but our student artists are still producing a lot of wonderful work, and they're going to use Instagram as their gallery walls. So go to HCC Virtual Art Center YouTube channel, and we'll have some information after the show on how you get to that. And you can see some beautiful work that our students are doing. It's absolutely outstanding. So what else we got going on, Raquel?
something that's very exciting, and I almost want to pull up myself if I wasn't going to be at work. It is the Fashion Forward Open House, and it's happening tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so don't miss HCC's Fashion Programs Open House. It's going to be happening from 10 a.m. to noon at 3601 Fannin. In order to RSVP, please reach out to blanca.soto@hccs.edu, and I'm pretty sure they'll have that in the link just in case I mess up her name. And also check our post after the show for more information, please.
And you know, our fashion department does some wonderful, beautiful, outstanding, creative work. It's so professional, the whole thing. I mean, it's just, and they're known internationally. So when you go, you're going to see some very fine stuff. So, okay. Then we also have Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion podcast series that's continuing on. Dr. Donna Davis, HCC's DEI officer, is hosting that. The next one is Thursday, December 2nd from 11:30 to noon. And the topic is inclusivity. I said this before, inclusivity. I got it. Inclusivity, creating a sense of belonging. And we all know what that is. Everybody needs to be able to feel like they belong. So this is going to be a good podcast on that. And then there's something about getting pizza. What's that all about, Raquel?
Yes. So if you give blood, you get pizza. I love how that goes. Vast Academy Blood Drive. Join our local Gulf Coast Regional Blood Center to do your part to save lives. And you can get a pizza coupon and some blood center swag. Hey now. And this is happening Thursday, December 2nd from 2 p.m. to 5. Registration is required. So we'll have the link to that registration link at the end of our show.
And there's also a food drive. Speaking of food, HCC's psychology department student organizations are inviting students to pick up food donation bags at Kroger, HEB, and the Houston Food Bank. Take a photo of yourself so that HCC can show you off and show off all your generous support. That's open now through December 5th. So it's coming to a close soon. So go ahead and be a part of that. And we'll give you the information at the end of the show on how you can be a part of that and send your photos there. Spring registration is here, Raquel.
Yes, HCC spring semester is around the corner. Like literally, I'm just blown away by how the year flew by. We're about to be in 2022. I can't believe this. So with that being said, registration is going on. So plan now for your future because class sizes are still small. There are 5 ways to learn: online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in-person, and hybrid lab. All students should contact their instructors for details and check their HCC emails for the latest posting for changes. For registration to all HCC programs, please go to hccs.edu/now. Iota, it is time.
We emphasize now. Okay, speaking of it is time for our monthly gaming segment when Houston Outlaws, part of the esports phenomenon, will join us. So that's coming up. And then Frank Cooper, our other co-host, is going to be with us. And he's going to really enjoy this because he's a big gamer and all that kind of thing. There's something else we're going to focus on, Raquel. What's that?
Yes, we are focusing on the HCC mathematics program from our Academic Center of Excellence with when Dean Tim Server returns for a visit. So for all my mathematicians, this is a show that you do not want to miss.
Absolutely. Now, thank you, Raquel, for being with us. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Keep watching us. We'll keep you up to the minute in all the different things that are going on around town, HCC, and all of that. So we'll see you next time on Up to the Minute.